Hi,
And
everyone. Welcome again to DevKami 82. And right now we are having, uh, I'm not sure if you guys are in as well. I'm on a holiday break, Raya holiday break. So,
oh
and I'm
yeah,
Chileong. And I'm Chileong, as usual.
I am Tristan.
and I'm swimming. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, apparently there's a
Oh,
holiday and stuff.
is it a
yeah,
holiday
Actually, there'll be a
today?
4 day
yeah.
holiday. No, it's not.
Suppo- Supposedly because it's Hari Raya, which is Eid for Muslim.
Mm.
So
That is
So when does the
today.
holiday start? It's
It's
tomorrow.
Monday actually.
it's actually officially it's tomorrow, but no, it's
Mm.
actually on Saturday.
Yeah, it's actually on Saturday because I know tomorrow we have to work. Yeah,
It doesn't. Yeah.
and also off topic. The reason why I know is because
Mm.
on we had a mistake for bar camp on tomorrow, but turns out it's actually Saturday. So that's another story altogether.
What? We are back here on Saturday.
Yeah, online bar camp.
Really? I
Mm.
didn't know
Oh,
about it. Do we have to sign up
if,
for it?
yes, I will
Really?
share the
What?
link.
Okay.
I've been a bit low key because okay, so I go off topic a bit. The reason why I've been a bit low key about bar camp is that bar camp in KL was ruined by marketers
Mm.
and people try to poach the
So
product.
is it a different situation this coming bar camp?
We tried.
Mm. So better filtering of presentations.
Now, let's see. I do not know. It
Did
might
you
be
put
a
it?
bit
Did
free.
you put it on
Yeah.
the calendar?
No. My
You suck.
fault. I should do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
So,
a data council talks happening right now.
Yeah. It's a.
yeah.
So
Is this right now the virtual data rate, which is like the after party?
mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so feel free
Can
to
we
join.
can we put them there? Like, can you go to their stream, then you share their stream on
Oh,
your
their
end?
stream is actually over because they're actually
Ah,
using the same account as ours,
hmm.
StreamYard accounts, and right
Okay.
now they are on a Zoom call. If you're interested, I'm gonna share it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zoom
we
call
can
is
pop
like after
by.
party. Yeah,
Yeah, we can
yeah,
pop
go.
into their Zoom and
Yeah, go.
we'll share the happenings here.
Yeah, go say hi. And they just concluded. So we can have our regular DevKami. So this is the link. Yeah.
Nickel Celestin, we won't cast Zoom now.
Yeah.
Maybe later. No.
So
So,
yep.
let's talk events, then news.
I
Oh, what's the
yeah.
meeting password? Sorry.
Wait. I have to check the YouTube link. Um. Okay, I'm gonna share it on the chat. Zoom
Mm-hmm.
meeting password. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't have Zoom installed, so I
I
forgot.
can share my screen once I get in.
So, let's talk events. What events do we
Yeah.
have?
We have a UMF club,
Yep.
which is scheduled with we are using the same StreamYard account.
Yes.
So this Saturday, 10 a.m.
Okay.
and
Good.
yep, this Saturday, 10 a.m. on which so we know App Club on the App Club YouTube page. So let me find it out. App Club. So everybody is I cannot find it. I'll figure it. I'll figure it.
Yep.
I'll share my screen. The
And
Zoom people are here,
yo,
so
I can't see.
screen. Wait, sorry. I need to share the entire screen.
You
Okay,
have to share
now
your passwords.
You may have.
Zoom. There you
Hey.
go. So look at what you're missing.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
Just
virtually
join
on
Zoom.
we are broadcasting Data Council on DevKami. So let me take a screen cap.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so confused what is happening right now. It just square stuff. I do not know what.
Yeah. So if you're interested, go there, watch the
Yep.
podcast, multitask. How do I stop sharing? There. Yeah. No, again, as usual, we don't have a lot of meetups. The only
Yep.
meetups that are happening are online and like virtual Tetric sessions, catch ups, etc. I guess MCO
That's
is still in effect until beginning of June, right? Or
yep.
first week of June.
18,
Yeah.
18
Oh,
of
really?
June.
Second week, third week of June.
Yeah.
Huh.
At this rate,
So
we're going to wait until Christmas or
I
Chinese
think
New
Mm.
Year.
basically all the physical meetups are cancelled for the. I think all the
Yeah.
physical meeting, even events, are cancelled for the rest of the
Yeah,
year.
for the meetups.
Yeah.
I wonder how travel is. Remember the Air Asia promo?
Yeah.
Unlimited travel for 500 ringgit? I wonder
Ha!
when you're actually going to be able to use that.
You can't. Nobody can. It'll
Mm.
be until Christmas.
Yeah.
That is
None shall
assuming
pass.
Air Asia still survive for the first place. That's what
Mhm.
happens when you pay your investor instead of
Yeah.
having savings.
And also because of the lack of motivation, like food, we don't have that much of online meetup.
Yeah.
Since we are at the comfort of our bedroom, so might as well just
Yes.
sleep.
And I
Than
don't
doing
really
it up.
want to do a
Yeah.
Python meetup. You
I
guys should
think I
handle
think I
it.
should do some screencasts about like tutorials for Golang, but
Yeah.
my Golang tutorial mainly involve writing load balancers like every time because that's the one
Yes.
that I think that is most impressive for people. It's very easy to do it.
Right.
Mhm.
So we have a DevOps meetup next week, right? Already said that.
I don't know.
But this is the DevOps meetup, isn't it? Oh no, sorry, this is the Data
Next week
Council
online
meetup.
meetup
Yeah.
on
Hmm.
Yeah.
on Tuesday as well. Oh, no, on Thursday,
Yep.
not the regular Tuesday. So I don't know
Yep.
why everybody try to book the block for DevKami. Like come on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Yeah.
DevOps used to be Tuesday,
Yes.
so they're on Thursday. Remember,
Well,
join the DevOps meetup.
Yep.
And Vimoku is actually on a roll recently, so they
Mm-hmm.
check. Uh, we're horrible at updating our calendar, but do check out their Facebook page. Let me share the link.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's a lot of events scheduled from Vimoku
mhm.
Kuala Lumpur.
Mm-hmm.
The
But
Flutter Sundays that they had was like the last one was last week. So there's a lot of things that happened there.
yeah,
I think
this
they're going to make way for different types of meetups after that.
yep. Last week. There's a talk about transition from non-tech to tech.
Mm-hmm.
So this week they're gonna be upskilling fast and slow for software engineers. So we have a few familiar faces there. Like Jim is the moderator.
Mm.
Like Jesselyn is part of the panel, and yep. So yep, they're on the road. Check them out.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do we have?
Actually, that's all for events.
Yeah,
Actually.
you
Oh,
have
there's a
check
bar
out.
camp.
Barcamp
Okay.
But
again.
So yep.
Oh, yeah,
Do we
we
In
have?
said
case you
that.
forgot, in case you forgot, there's Barcamp.
Do we
Yeah.
have any like links or some things?
Uh, Let me share it out. I think I trust you guys to. I trust the viewer are not marketers, so that's fine.
So is the format still the same? Like everybody just But do you have how do you do it? Because Barcamp used to be like multiple rooms where
Uh,
you suggest. So
apparently, apparently, Zoom had the feature to break out,
okay.
different
Oh,
rooms.
So
yes,
I have to
they
use Zoom.
do.
Then we can
So,
have.
mhm.
It's an experiment. Nobody really knows, which is like the spirit of the original market. Nobody really knows what
Mm.
happened.
I'll probably be still sleeping. Sorry.
Yes.
But if I'm awake, I'll be joining.
So yeah, I think that's about it for events.
Yep. For I think this week is the most exciting one in terms of Bus Corner.
Yes. So this, uh, in fact, we had one big event happening over the week. The Microsoft Build Conference online. Uh, so it's a Microsoft Build Conference is a conference we covered that before last year when DevKami started. It's for developers targeting on Microsoft platform. Traditionally, is the Visual Studio crowd. People targeting Windows nowadays. It's a bit more. It's a bit more wide, and in fact, hell froze over starting for the past few years, where Microsoft began to do a lot of development on open source technology and Linux, especially. So we cover that in the future, a bit later tonight. But a preview is WSL2, Windows Service for Linux 2, have access to GPU now through DirectX. So let's say you want to build your machine learning model and all that on a Linux platform because maybe Windows doesn't work as well for you. So your virtual machine, your Windows service on the Linux service on Windows can now access GPU and use the GPU for power. You can use it for running Windows Linux application and whatnot, which is weird, but hey, it happened.
And they just announced DirectX support for Linux kernel.
Yes. Oh, really? Oh no, I think it's for WSL, but I think that it's for Windows WSL, but they're open source. It means there's a part for them to integrate it downward.
Yeah. It's
right?
via WSL, but I think you gonna trickle down and make Linux support some of the DirectX execution.
Yes.
Yeah, soon I think.
Yeah, because they may not want to focus too much on operating system.
I think they announced the recent one is that they announced the Edge browser even on Linux.
Yeah.
But of course it's not based on Chromium. Yeah, but it's at least a step.
So that's because of the conference. Let's see if we got time to cover this really interesting stuff. Another big one that we're going to cover soon is the technology radar is out.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have with this. This will be a big chunk of our discussion.
Yeah. So I actually pre-prepared it.
Yep.
So let me.
What other thing on the news? Oh yeah, Python developers survey is out for 2019.
What is that?
JetBrains and Python Software Foundation had a annual Python developer survey.
Oh, okay. Oh, the survey. Okay.
Yeah, the result this year is a bit standard.
Do you want to share the screen?
I hope I did. I'm not opening it yet. Let me see whether I can open it. Then I can share the
screen. What changed? More data users?
No, actually, the trend. There's no new trend. Share screen. Let me speed up the window. Oh man, I don't know how this works. Okay. Generally it's mostly the same though. Later, how do I cancel this? Ubuntu software new tab? No. Don't allow. Share screen. Damn it! I can't share anymore.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
You're not a good neighbor according to RMS. You're
not. No. Okay. Can you see that? Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So as you can see, okay. So remember this. The people that do this tend to be PyCharm user. So there's a very heavy skill to software development, and people that actually use Python heavily. So it's not this. So as a result, you'll get like 84% of people use Python as a primary language, which is expected because you are targeting people that use PyCharm and all that. So as I said, there's a skill. Generally, you have to use with JavaScript mostly and Bash. Again, if you If
What
you
what
notice,
what that has to do with PHP or with other languages?
uh, I do not know what's the relationship with PHP and Java probably for integration, C# for integration.
Yeah.
Go very likely to be blue script. I do not know.
Bootstrapping.
TypeScript is interesting, but if you use JavaScript and HTML, you build very likely you're building web application.
Yeah.
You bash because you work with servers. If you use if you do data, very likely you're going
The
to
the JavaScript is
use
most
SQL.
likely the JavaScript is most
Yes.
likely the node modules. Sorry.
Yeah, they might actually do npm install Python, right?
Yeah.
C++ is actually there for a while, but it's not very common. One of the things that many people didn't notice is that Python is used as a glue script for C and C++ application. In fact, some of the early use for Python in Malaysia is actually as a glue script for C and C++ code.
Yeah. It was a replacement for Perl.
Correct.
Which language was a replacement for Perl?
Python.
Python.
Python. Yeah.
For
Wow.
people who doesn't want to write bash script.
Yeah.
Yes. If
I
you
thought
so
I
go
thought
on
Go is
again.
like the new glue language, right? Go, because now it's a
Um,
single binary, like
I'm
a
not.
No,
JavaScript.
application
No.
level
I think more
language.
like utilities. I think
Yes.
Go is for building utilities because it's portable.
Yep.
Mm,
But if even for scripting, I still use Python or
Yes.
data analytics. It's a different kind of convenience I can have because
mhm.
because for a long running process, for one off scripting, I don't need the kind of type safety and runtime protection.
Yep.
Mhm.
So for
Okay.
data SQL, same thing. Not many difference here. Here's a more interesting one. What purpose you use Python for? Work and professional. Again, I strongly believe there's a bias of user here because you're
Because if
targeting the type.
yeah, of course, you if you can pay for it,
Yes. So and if you're willing to pay for it, and if, very likely this comes from Python Software Foundation and PyCharm user. Again, the bias is there. So which is why I say the what use Python for, which is why I say it's a bit not much changes. Data analysis, web development is roughly the same. Machine learning because the tool set is there. Uh, Again, not many. The trend is the same for a while. You know what I mean? So which I said no surprise here. So as a result, yeah,
okay, web development is back again.
yes,
So I remember one year it was all
data.
the majority were data people.
Yep, correct.
So web is back, but it's been a while since I've been using Python for production. What is the framework like? What is the go to stuff for web in Python?
Uh, Django is still there. If you but a lot
There's
of
no
people are
new
considering.
there's no new stuff coming up like stuff that you
Uh,
utilize the async await
there's always
paradigm.
that. There is like the fast API. Fast API is there. Python Django 3 are using async in their code now. So Django do that. There's some API focused thing that use asynchronous feature that I don't remember the name. There's a few of those. The reason for that is to serve machine learning model. It's just easier if you serve it as an API service than a binary to be called.
Yep.
So which is why there is a heavy emphasis on fast API
And
type of.
and also PSA is that a synchronous process doesn't speed up. It doesn't use more processor.
No.
It's still running on a single thread. It's just that if you are doing some, especially IO block operation, you can go and do some other things before it's finished. It's not actually meant to I like running multiple like analysis that that is purely on CPU and memory,
So
it doesn't make things faster.
correct. Then finally, here's the interesting part. 62% of people that works on data analysis and machine learning consider themselves data scientists. Only like 33% yes, and there is like mix of which is very interesting because I would thought that maybe we use the
What
job
do you-
title.
Yeah, what do you consider yourself?
I'm just a hacker.
So you hack stuff? You like do you have
But not
do you have
the
a hack,
Facebook account.
do you have a hacker glove and you can hack time?
Then of course Python 3 is dominating.
Yeah, go for Python 3. The economics is so much better than 2.
Correct. And here's the interesting one. Python are mostly installed using OS provided version,
Yeah.
which is very interesting. But again, the rest is there. So in short, no surprise here actually. There's not much surprise here because it's a Python is one of those boring thing. It works, it's stable, not necessarily exciting, get things done. Yet there's some async stuff over, but it makes things fast and that's it, right? So yeah,
Only for
So
IO
that's-
blocking operations.
correct.
Because I've been like there's some supports that I had to do, like they were asking why when I'm using async it doesn't make my code faster. Of course, it's only for still running on the same processor.
Correct. So unfortunately, that is one of those lah. So I think that's about cover it for the Python developer survey.
Okay, I'm gonna hijack again.
Mhm.
So
If you're
So wait,
really
before we go here, let's take a look at the comments on chat.
Yep.
right,
Apparently, yeah.
yep, same
Oh,
goes if
Amirul was saying Microsoft Office on Linux when you can
Yep.
actually run Microsoft Office using Wine, right? Like some people
Yeah.
have been doing
don't
it
bet
for
on
Wine.
it. It's not always work.
Oh, no, well, it depends on the list. If it's golden or platinum, then it should be fine.
Yeah.
Certain versions of, well, not the subscription ones, but they want the ones that come on CDs. They should still be running on Wine. I think
Yeah.
people are doing it. I think I used that before. Or you can always run a virtual machine, but
Yes.
probably not. I think it's too much of like entangled with Microsoft libraries before you can
Yes,
actually have a proper thing. Edge on Linux is only working because it's using the Chromium project,
yeah.
which
Correct.
already has
Correct.
Yep.
Linux ones. DirectX support for Linux VMs
Yes.
running on the Hyper-V.
Correct,
That's
correct,
because the WSL2 is running on Hyper-V.
Yes.
But this is not for virtual machines on Hyper-V, but this is WSL2 on DirectX, which technically runs on Hyper-V.
Yeah.
Yes. So the thing
yeah.
about this is, it doesn't actually implement DirectX directly on
Mhm.
for all the operating system. They just provide an interface to talk to Windows. In a way, they
Mhm.
also provide a part.
And if you want to sort of violate it, you can actually build it into part of the kernel.
Yeah, well, it is part of the kernel, so they're doing a kernel thing. I don't know if they're actually open sourcing it, because this is the problem with the GPL2 thing. It happened on Xbox where you have
Yes.
certain parts that are not actually like open sourced because I don't know, for some reason I forgot which one, so I don't know, but which the GPL3 tried to make sure it covers. So I'm not sure if this is going to also be open source, but if it's open source, then there's technically no reason why other kernels won't be able to bring this in.
Yeah, but it's an interface. It's not an actual implementation. You see.
Yeah.
It's primarily an interface to the host.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's a part, but it's primarily an interface. As Donald Sin say, it's like word IO. Yeah, so when they say interface, they're exposing it as /dev.
Yeah.
It's a /dev entry.
Yep.
Mhm.
So It's a bit different. It's not DirectX on
Hey,
Linux.
go the new glue.
Yeah, Go is the new glue. Well, what does I mean? Why not, right? I don't know. You can
So
you can dive down to the system calls using Go.
yeah. So the
You
thing
can run
is,
channels on there. So
uh, why Perl is Perl Python in a way
Why
really is
Perl?
considered.
The why Perl because
Uh,
Perl used to be bundled with Linux distribution.
yeah.
yeah, but they're also a scripting language,
Yeah.
and there is an interface. You can interface with with the lower level language like C and C++. So there's a part for that. As a result, they use it as a glue of all these things together. When they say glue, it's not necessarily means scripting. Scripting is one thing, but also use it to test libraries, low level libraries.
Mm,
We use the library for higher
The
level
middleman.
user. Yes. So in the way, yeah, Go can do that, but
But Python,
traditionally when you
yeah.
say glue
But
language, it tend to be
a
scripting
lot of
language.
projects still using Python as the bootstrapper,
Yeah,
especially C or C++ project.
correct.
mhm. All right,
So
let's go to our next section. The
technology.
technology radar.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're not a fan of any of those languages that we mentioned, try out .NET
Yeah.
Core.
.NET
It's not
Core.
yeah.
Is it? There
Uh,
are they actually recommending it?
Adapt.
It says it's on Adopt. No, it
There's
was
only
previously in
there's
Adopt.
yeah there's a
Oh, it's
there are
more the
actually
Adopt.
two items on Adapt. So .NET Core is to Adapt. So
uh,
Interesting.
I have no working experience with .NET Core, so I cannot say anything.
I
It's,
don't have experience as
But
so
well.
here's the
I
thing. .NET Core is a Windows like Windows OS thing, right?
no,
No.
it's actually cross-platform. It's a clean-up version of .NET
Wow.
without all
Mm,
Uh,
the burden from like all the stuff
mm,
that glued tightly coupled with Windows operating system.
So you
so the
So
can.
it
core here is actually the core language.
yeah, so it's actually runs on Linux.
Mm,
Yeah.
and Mac
Yeah,
Any other language.
yeah.
and FreeBSD, I guess.
If it supports, if they
Oh no,
support
so
it.
the thing it's cross platform, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to ask like if it was just Windows, like is Windows still like a viable platform, like a viable OS? Because
Uh,
the this like everything is mostly running on web right now, and especially with WebAssembly, it's going to be
Yeah.
really fast. And
yes.
so now
So
your platform is the browser. It's
Yes.
shifting to that. And so if you're going to have to adopt a technology that only runs on a single operating system with partial support from Linux or Mac or FreeBSD or any of those
No,
other
you look
operating
at you look
systems.
at this wrongly. You look at this wrongly. .NET Core is the core language. .NET Framework is a Windows thing. You
Mm,
use .NET Core to build web application and
yeah.
all that. You use
mm,
.NET
So
Framework for
and
Windows and
also
stuff.
like the bulk of the have been ported into the main one. So
Yeah.
and they're gonna kill .NET Framework.
mm.
Yes. And
So
also,
.NET
so
Core is
this
the one that can support. So I think they
.NET Core are
realized.
not Windows.
I think
It's
the
not
it
Windows thing
is
anymore.
yeah it's sort of aligned with their goal recently. Like the platform is more important. So
Correct.
Mm.
if they can get the developer buy-in, they're gonna win anyway.
Yes.
So nowadays, just like I think they lag behind like Apple's or Google in terms of that from the mobile war. So I think that's one of the
What
lesson that
wasn't the Azure thing, the Azure Sphere thing, running on .NET Core,
I don't.
right?
I haven't put that up
Do you
Yeah.
mind.
remember swimming
Yes.
did
The short
the
answer is
thing?
yes. But
So that
that is
was
a
so
Linux
difficult to
machine.
program in Linux. Yeah, it's a Linux machine, but you couldn't program it on the Linux machine. You needed a
Yes.
Windows machine to program the .NET Core thing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, you look at this wrongly because
Okay.
.NET Core is not the reason why you cannot use it on
Mm,
Linux. The reason that thing doesn't work is because they built the interface. They built the interface to only talk certain way. It's not a direct serial. So you
mm,
do. They only built drivers for Windows to communicate
yeah.
with the device. It's nothing to do
Mm,
with the .NET Core. You see.
Oh,
So
some
.NET Core
okay.
would be the
example.
equivalent of your Java virtual machines with very
Mm-hmm.
a few things on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Okay.
it's not
Yeah.
it's not like Swift before they port it to
Yeah.
Linux or
If
whatnot.
I think if you're familiar with the platform, yeah, just try it out,
Yes,
and also like why not? Because right now it's a cross-platform now, so just try it
correct.
out.
Evaluate it.
Yeah. Do you want to go
So
to the next one?
now let's go to the next one because we're going to get a lot of controversy. What the hell is Istio?
Service mesh for Kubernetes.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have actually used this in the early days, so it allow you
and
to like program and do all those like circuit breaker and stuff, and with all the tracing. Um, if you don't have a really big cluster, don't bother it. Like if you only have a few, if you had to use container and Kubernetes, and you only have that several deployments, you don't need this. It's only like when you have a lot of microservices across the data center, like, and you need to have a like visibility into like how things are going, because it actually has this like traffic management, and actually tracing is built in, so observability, rolling release as in tag releases, so you can tag like certain like A, B and stuff, very fancy, but of course nothing comes for free, so it actually introduces its own overhead lah. So uh, as usual, the advice is I think language, how about C sharp? Yeah, C sharp on .NET Core. So .NET is actually, when we use .NET framework, is actually the library that we import. So now you can use C sharp with .NET Core support. You can import .NET Core libraries that is not specifically for Windows only.
yep,
So check it out if you use Kubernetes. You're adventurous.
yeah, I'm too old for this shit. So Anka, I never heard of it.
What's your opinion, Tristan?
Nope.
you look
I don't.
you
I
look like you're
haven't.
frowning.
I haven't. I have. I'm
Yeah.
trying to read about
Uh,
these things, but I
yeah.
don't. I haven't heard of any of these things.
My advice is as much as possible. If you don't need it, don't use Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anka is like
Yeah.
okay.
I saw an article though, which I think is much better use for Kubernetes. Like, it's a swarm of pies of hardware,
Yeah.
which I think is good because, like, pies will, like, you need to put more pies or like replace pies or those things, and then it
Yep.
automatically reconfigures itself, right? Which is,
Yep.
I think, a much better like
Yep.
imagination or like simulation of
Uh,
what actually happens.
so the thing is, Kubernetes is one of those big boys problem. You have a lot of proxy servers around the world as a
Yeah.
CDN, your
Yeah.
load
If yeah.
balancers,
Yep.
or your
Yeah.
databases.
Well,
Yep.
the
You have
problem
to
there
manage
is
it
that
all.
a number of people do Kubernetes and then they just do it in one data center, which I felt like doesn't
Yes.
make the most use. Like, that's why the Pi cluster thing is a great way to teach people what actually Kubernetes will
Yeah.
do for you. Like,
Yep.
if one of those pies actually get disconnected, things get rearranged. That's
Yep.
the thing. But
Yep.
if everything
That's
is
the
in the
thing
same
that it
data center,
provides.
then you're just like bringing up containers or those things. It's still the same data center. You don't
Yep.
get any of the
Yes.
resiliency from
Yep.
Kubernetes.
Correct.
And also like service discovery, whenever you put up something on the new server, you don't need to reconfigure,
Mhm.
like let's say our Nginx, or
Yeah.
you have to use a scripting version like a Lua module with Nginx. So
Mhm.
Yes.
it's there, but the convenience is there, but the overhead to maintain, it's not easy to maintain. It's not easy to set
Mhm.
up, and there's a lot of
Yes.
gotchas, especially for people that are not familiar with the deeper kind of system level kind of things. Even from time to time, when I have to debug Kubernetes, I realize how little that I know about the Linux operating system.
Mhm.
So let's proceed to the next one.
Yep.
Under trial, we'll just go through them quick.
Yep.
Anka is basically something like a VM for on Mac OS, so
Is
you
it
can
Uh-huh.
Kubernetes for Mac OS?
not really. It's more like
No. Okay. I got
yeah,
excited there.
uh, it's
No.
in a way it's
Yeah.
very. I I forgot what do you call it again?
The Swarm Manager or something?
No, it's the
Container orchestration.
Yeah.
All of those
So
buzzwords.
yeah, basically. So it's more like Docker, but instead of a container, it's actually what underneath is actually like a hypervisor based VM.
okay.
So
I remember that. I remember it's a VirtualBox based tools.
yeah, Beehive.
Mm.
Beehive is a VM. It's a lightweight
Yeah,
hypervisor on top of Mac OS and
yeah,
Excel. So you can have your your isolated environment for probably your to build your software stuff, because we know that I don't know what's the point of this though, because do people build private cloud with Mac OS? I don't know. I
I
know.
don't know.
Yeah, I
No,
actually had
you
production quality.
probably.
Sorry.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I actually had production experience with Mac OS when they were still selling Xserve, but
Mm.
nowadays I don't know like whether this is suitable. Like Mac
So
Pro
this
probably.
is
Yeah, the other
usually
cables.
used for running your tests on like
Yeah,
swarms of Macs. So if
yeah,
you're
Was it
if you're
mobile?
yeah, usually for mobile, because you can usually, I
yeah.
mean, if you can afford to just run
Or,
your stuff
or
on like normal computers, right? Then you can do that. So usually
Okay.
it's for like like simulating
yeah,
iOS or like for Mac software.
yeah.
Uh,
So
if
you
your
still
tests
need.
will be like parallelized over them.
Yeah. You still need, in order to support it, you still need a build server or test server. So like
Mm-hmm.
if there's a Mac OS support, you're gonna need a Mac OS server, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
yeah, that's about it.
Let's go
uh,
down.
Argo CD, I don't know what this
Don't
is.
know what is that.
Deploying a Kubernetes. It's probably a continuous delivery. So
Mm.
thing
Okay.
like yeah, drag and drop. Yeah, looks very fun.
How many times it
What?
change every year?
It's drag and drop now. You arrange your architecture by drag and drop.
Yeah,
Wow.
but setting up might be like
Mm.
pain in your whatever.
It's like some business manager's dream, right? What
Yeah,
if we can sell them a whole server just when they drag and drop it to their workspace, and then you
Yeah.
charge them $50 as long as it's there for an hour? We charge them $50 an hour, something.
there's something called Sandstorm, right? Yeah, they're trying to do that, right? Sorry. Sandstorm IO, not the word Sandstorm.
I don't
Sorry.
know.
Okay, not really.
Okay.
So, I, oh, okay, not really.
Mm.
So let's go. Next one, crowding. One of the
Uh,
localization.
multilingual
Bilingual.
localization.
Yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately, I suck at that.
yeah. Uh, I think a
Is
lot of
this
us is a bit lucky that we don't really.
yeah? Is this
Uh,
translation? This is not translation. Yeah,
No,
this is
no,
translation. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, since
translation.
it's I guess you upload strings and then translators
Yeah.
translate it, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it
yeah. Correct.
automatically integrates to your application probably.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I used to use something like called Transifex.
Yeah. Transifex is the
Mm.
alternative.
Yeah. So this
A bit less
this
feature than the promise.
We
yeah
just use
this
Google
is
Sheets. We just put the strings there and then ask like
Yeah.
the Russians or the whoever speaks this language, can you put your
we
translation on the Google Sheets?
we don't even do that.
Yeah.
English or go home.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So,
then one of my colleagues wrote like a small library that does from G Sheet to JSON, and then we just plug that in, and then
yeah,
that's your CI for you.
he
Whenever
actually
they change it,
he actually should sell that as a SaaS.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like so eppf, this is the
Oh,
one that
eBPF is very
everybody talk
interesting.
about.
No, only among us mostly. It's a bit of a black magic to some, but it's very interesting. In fact, there is some comment that suggests that ePPF will turn Linux kernel into a microkernel.
This is the most important thing, is VM on top of a
Yeah.
kernel, so you
Yes.
can programs instruction to change things on the fly.
Yes.
So
Originally they used for firewall or many packet, but now you can do so much more
yeah,
thing.
go read
It's
about it. There's so
yeah,
many of it. Firebase, I think everybody knows about Firebase.
Yes.
Why are
Yeah,
they
I'm not
still
sure. I could
asking it for trial? But I
I,
thought it was like already adopt, right? This
yeah, I
whole
don't know.
thing.
It's already pretty standardized, especially if you use like if you're a mobile developer. Most of us use Crashlytics. It's bought over by Google, and now it's
Mhm.
actually Crashlytics is dead, so it's now being absorbed by Firebase.
Mm.
And the another alternative to Auth0 multiple OAuth provider is also like one of
Yeah.
the public one is also Firebase off.
You you know, mobile developers seem to like Firebase a lot. Even if like all of our like in a previous company, all of our new hires in mobile
Yeah.
will always ask about Firebase because apparently they don't like to work with API
It's very
backend
yeah,
developers.
yeah, it's very Firebase is very easy to work with. So
Yeah,
you don't have to learn about like how to do REST, how to do OAuth, how
yeah,
to do all these things. You just use the library and you just persist your state, and it auto sync up with the server
yeah.
seamlessly. So yeah, very nice, but
Mm.
it become like
a lot
Well,
for
of
some
you're
people.
tied
yeah.
to the Firebase thing, right? You can't do anything else but Firebase if you tie your code into Firebase.
Yep.
You don't
You can
like
actually
abstract
you
it
can actually
away.
write a transparent layer to do it, but it become like too much too rely on it. Like you cannot survive outside of
Yes.
Firebase.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Hot chocolate, GraphQL. I don't use a
Never heard of
GraphQL,
it.
so it's a
Yeah.
GraphQL server for .NET Core and
.dot
Classic.
.NET again. .dot
Yeah,
.NET. Okay,
.NET is a
interesting.
rage. So GUI
The
shared gun echo. Let's share what it. Let's see what is that.
Oh, that one. I think this was going the rounds
Oh
in
no.
the Engineers My Slack channel. It's like a database thing, distributed database, I
Oh
think.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with what they call the for hack freedom fighters. So they actually do
So it's
encryption.
distributed, so even if like some of the data is like some of the servers are down because it's decentralized and distributed, and someone will have that data eventually.
Craft data for the
So
win. It reminds me,
uh,
even though it's not the same, it reminds me of CouchDB.
oh
What
yeah.
mm,
CouchDB trying to do.
I'm
Yes.
sure there had been a comparison of this being the Bitcoin of databases or something.
Really? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
blockchain.
Maybe.
I think that is
Yeah.
insult. Hydra.
Yes. Never heard of it.
I actually tried it. Ori Hydra is actually basically this is the if you need to maintain your OAuth provider, like basically
Uh,
you want to be a provider, uh,
yep.
it's a library to help you with it. It's a very
Yep.
What
comprehensive library.
is this a standalone? No, this is a
Yeah,
library for
it's a
which
standalone.
platform?
For it's on its own actually.
Oh, so it's its own server. It's an own.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like an OAuth server basically.
Yeah. So I'm a Go developer. It's written in Go. So basically, the itself is a library for me. Like basically all the Go codes out there are Go libraries. So if you wrote a server, that's the library as well. So yeah, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But most
Or
likely we
you
don't need
can
it.
also do Auth0
Yeah.
instead.
Or
Auth0 or
Firebase,
Firebase Auth. Yeah.
whichever that's yeah you prefer. A lot of communities related open telemetry, which is like the like Prometheus, Jaeger, Zipkit, and yep,
Okay.
all these
Is
stats.
this the one that measures like how long your function takes, for example,
Yeah, how
or
long? They call it used to be like APM.
but then that means you need particular language bindings or framework bindings, right,
Yep.
for it to actually do the measurement.
I don't have experience with Jaeger. Like Prometheus, you actually need to put it inside the code.
Mm.
So, but for some of the things like let's say database system, people actually wrote a connector that
Yeah.
will automatically export the state. So if you are using a project like say Reddit's established project, they probably people wrote
Yeah.
exporter for it already.
Mm-hmm.
So OpenTelemetry is actually good because previously everybody actually follow their own standards. So now it's actually under the umbrella of OpenTelemetry.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff. Also related to Kubernetes and all the stuff. So Snowflake, I heard about it a lot, but I especially in the big data community, but I actually don't know what this is.
I don't know either.
Yeah. So how to manage conflicts.
I think this is talking about the gun.eco database. If it's decentralized, how do you manage conflicts? They actually
So
have
let's
an FAQ about that. Like it's about
let's
deletes, for example. Because if you delete something, then how do you know whether it's actually deleted or whether you just don't have the data? And
oh, that's why
apparently,
you
it's
say
about
it's like a. That's why you say it's like a cryptocurrency for on.
yeah,
So because there's some
for
consensus built in.
databases.
Yeah.
Well,
So
apparently, how they fix it is if you want
okay.
to delete something, you null that entry. You actually save null to that particular record because that will have a timestamp in those things, and then that gets propagated across the decentralized. It's an interesting FAQ. It's quite it's written in a way that it's not very helpful, but it contains a lot of buzzwords, I would say. So it's like someone who hasn't been sleeping at 4 and has just been working did an FAQ. That's how the FAQ sounds like. So if you're into that kind of prose, then you should read their FAQ. It's quite interesting.
So basically,
Yeah.
Snowflake is something that massage your data, let you manage your
Mm.
data. Not myself.
So this is like an open source version of New Relic or something?
Oh no, Snowflake.
No, no,
No,
Open Telemetry. Oh yeah, you're
Open
you spoke
telemetry.
about
Yeah,
telemetry.
open telemetry. Prometheus is like the open
Mm-hmm.
source equivalent of New Relic. Even the
Mm-hmm.
usage is pretty similar, but
Yeah.
Relic actually provides a lot more.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were still because it's
Yeah,
in the same
Snowflake is
same thing.
a big data SaaS. So we wait for anybody who use it. Basically, I think
Mm.
it's somebody is playing Animal Crossing. I can hear it. And is something from Google that try to, in a way, like dominate the market more. It's
Mm.
sort of like hybrid clouds kind of solution. So it allows you to host your own like communities or services that actually you can interact with the services on Google and using Google's utility.
So it's like Google but local.
Yeah, for but local. So you can use the
Ah,
same cloud dashboard to provision
mm,
your own private cloud thing.
mm.
Yeah,
So it's like an abstraction on top of that, so that
yeah,
you can just connect to either
yeah,
local or to Google
yeah.
Cloud.
Then you
Okay.
can use those same utility to connect it with the cloud services.
Yeah.
So more money for them.
Mm.
Have fun. Uh, Browser, I don't know.
PubSub,
PubSub,
like Kafka.
Kafka.
What's the difference? I don't see
Uh,
the difference.
I think it's personal choices. So check it out.
Mhm.
Oh, promising for large organization. Come on. Oh, come on.
Just
Zookeeper.
because, put it this way, just because it's on the TopWorks technology Reddit doesn't mean you have to adopt it.
That's why no. That's why we have to share our opinions.
Yeah.
um,
Mm.
equally heavy based on Zookeeper. If you
Well,
guys know, Kafka
I
also
mean,
based on Zookeeper.
Yeah. You
not
have to
anymore,
manage
but yes,
Kafka stuff with
not
Zookeeper.
anymore.
Apparently, Zookeeper is now abstract enough that it can manage
Yeah,
different herds. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
well, this one it's
Yeah,
yeah.
Zookeeper
either
used to be
Kafka
a
or Pulsar or
yeah,
something.
really big chunk of stuff that is very hard to use.
Yeah.
But they are one of the earliest before we had etcd or equivalent. They were the initial offerings. So, Cosmos, blockchain. I don't know
Ugh.
what is
Ugh.
it. Yeah, that's the kind of so
Oh,
any opinion.
Swimeg, you like this. Now, it's not blockchain, it's cross-chain.
Cross
It's
chain. What does that?
cross-chain technology.
What does it even mean? What that
I
is?
don't
Why the
know.
hell would you use a fucking
So it's
blockchain?
like
It says
CrossFit kind of.
cross-chain.
Cosmos really Tendermint, the independent blockchain, parallel blockchain could exchange value to the IBC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably suitable for something else, not related to me. Google BigQuery, go read yourself.
But here, this one I may not agree with it, but I can see why. Remember that when I talk about machine learning, I keep using the is dot library, or is cat, or is object type.
Which topic we are on? Like BigQuery?
Google BigQuery ML. The
Okay.
thing is, people while this is not actually the library for isdot, but the thing is, people don't really care about building models. People want to pump data and get prediction.
Yeah,
Right.
They just want to get see the results.
Yeah. So big data. So this one is interesting because one, it's a service to be used, and two, not everyone have data that is image. So not everyone try to find dog,
Yep.
cats, cuteness, and whatnot.
I think
Often
also
when you talk about data,
these kind of things that being offered is actually these two is much harder for the small players to do.
correct. So so you need the credibility, the fairness thing is primarily because to cover yourself from legal
Because
liability.
it's a cloud service, I don't want to focus too much on it.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
But
do
I
it
can
yourself.
see why people are interested in it. That's why I'm saying that.
Yep, let's proceed to the next one because we're running out of
Jupyter Lab
time.
is interesting.
Now it's no longer just notebooks. There's
Yep.
a lot more. So they actually
Yes.
consolidate everything under Jupyter Lab. Check it out. How do you pronounce this? Marquis or Marquez? Marquez. Surfing
Marquez?
data. What is this? Okay, check it out.
Don't know.
Marquez.
Aggregate, visualize metadata by VWork. Okay. Sorry.
Too many buzzwords, cannot brain.
Yeah. Matomo, I don't know what it is. Go read about it. If you
Yeah.
know what that is, Matomo is PV. PV is like the open source version of Google Analytics. So
Okay.
that's the equivalent. So they rename it, calling themselves Matomo. So yeah, they've been around since they also call it themselves Google Analytics alternative. But it's an open source alternative. You can self-host it. So yeah, check it out if you want something similar, but you want it to be in-house. Melee search.
Yet another text search.
Oh yeah, an alternative to Elasticsearch.
But this is purely for
Oh.
text.
If you don't have volume of data that warrants a distributed solution, it's like a lighter. So it's from the description, it's look like a lighter version of
Lighter.
Elasticsearch. Yeah, lighter. Oh, that's
Yep.
very rare because I like lighter versions.
Yes.
Because often we are too fixated in like all the big tools for the big boys. So lighter
Yeah.
tools are always welcome for me.
Yes.
Stratos.
Also, Elasticsearch turns to a monster. What the hell is that?
Alternative
AR?
haptics. Like that ultrasound.
AR.
Great. So yeah.
Yeah,
this is
VR,
like-
AR.
Yeah. So it's this is a interaction with haptic feedback in mid-air.
Very new. Too
Like,
new. A bit too new.
Very interesting.
But yes.
Yeah, might be interesting for you guys.
This thing. The X here is like virtual reality or augmented reality. That's the X part.
Oh, okay. X is like the wildcard.
Yeah, correct.
So interesting because previously Leapmotion is the company that do the sensor for AR goggles and stuff. Then that died off for some reason.
Yeah, because Leapmotion, the first version of Leapmotion sucks. I tried it.
Yes.
And it's even though it's look very fancy to have your hands on the air, but it's actually very tiring. So if you have to do it, this is definitely something that I don't believe like seeing on the Hollywood film. Is like no way you're gonna have your hand on the air, like
Yes.
doing all this imaginary stuff is gonna be really tiring. So
Correct.
Trillion, I remember there's used to be a IM
Chat.
Yeah.
software,
Yes.
called Trillion on
Did
Linux.
they buy the domain or something?
No, I have no idea.
Trillion. This used to be a messenger, right?
Oh, from
Yep.
Google. It's just a
Hmm.
GitHub link.
Ah, okay. I wonder why they called it Trillion.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
they're a fan of the
Maybe
IM
this
software.
is the generation that never knew about
Heard of it.
Trillion.
Yeah,
Yeah, Merkle tree blockchain ban.
verifiable data structure, certified Merkle tree.
It's blockchain plus stuff.
Yeah, something like something like that. Unrelated to me. On hold notes. These are just
Never heard of it.
Oh no, overloads. What is this? Should be used so not programming dumb one. Side performance. Message.
Do not know what the hell is that.
I
Never
don't know
heard
what
of
this
it.
is. Yeah, it's on hold, so don't bother.
Yeah.
So I think that's about it for the the technology radar for.
Is it relevant to you guys though?
I think
don't
some of
know.
them are interesting. I discovered some of the interesting, like Pulsar, like new names.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Antos. Open telemetry is something on the radar, but I think everybody knows about Firebase.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
So-
interesting that it's still trial but not adopt. So something is turning them off.
Anka
Chances
is
is-
When Anka is in, when Istio is adopt and Firebase is not, then you have to like think about it, like what is happening.
Yes. So one thing that Amiro is talking about Firebase is the Firestore. Yeah, another database will make it easy.
I forgot to take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been covering Kristen's face for over like how many minutes?
It's fine.
Oh.
I'm going to share what they call this, the Zoom meeting again, and
Oh, they're still going around.
yeah, they're still going on.
Okay. Hi, folks.
I have a lot of things to say.
It seems like it is aligned very nicely with the screen
Yeah.
that we shared.
Mm-hmm. So this is DevKami now. We talk and then there's another.
We're going
Yeah.
meta like Rick and Morty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we covering the other quadrants?
I think we're
In,
gonna cover it next week.
Yeah.
Techniques is probably the least on because it's very abstract. Then we cover platforms. Then we actually have tools and languages and frameworks afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So
We already covered language and frameworks.
not really.
So yeah.
No, we haven't. We covered the
Oh, okay.
platforms.
Oh, okay.
These are the platforms.
Okay.
So what I learned, this is new for me, Anka. But for the rest, it seems like the stuff that I've been following, probably along like that also show like my what could it interest side bubble. Mainly search is new. Probably I'm gonna look it up. Jupyter Lab because I've been trying to set it up recently, so that's how I realized the rebranding. Basically, it's still the same, but they're gonna offer more features later. They're gonna do more notebooks. And I remember Jupyter is like an acronym of multiple languages. Like J is like JU is Julia, Python,
Yeah.
and then what's
R is supported somehow.
Yeah, what's E about?
I do not know.
So yep. History time. Jupyter, Jupyter notebook used to be called IPython notebook. So
Yes.
yeah.
It turns out
finish.
that the notebook idea is so good they want to bring it up to other languages. So you have Jupyter. It's still primarily Python, but it's a common language now. That's one of the big things that changes.
Highly use it though.
So people, originally when people talk about notebook, it's impressed a lot of people because it makes teaching so easy. It make sharing ideas so easy.
I actually use IPython.
Yeah.
for the memory and stuff, it's actually much more. It's a more ergonomic kind of a shell for Python.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That is standard now.
yeah, but I actually don't. Haven't really get used to using Jupyter Lab yet for myself.
Not Jupyter Lab, but Jupyter
I
Notebook.
mean,
Yes.
notebooks, not yeah.
We previously use that. It's easier to use notebook to share data work. It's not the best, but it's what available.
Yeah. It's for visualization. Lah.
But currently, my machine learning class, which annoys the hell out of me because they have they redo the whole course. They redo the whole course to use Jupyter Notebook, which is very annoying.
So Nicholas
So I
says
have to do it.
it's from two sides. They're finishing. So
Yeah.
thank you, Nicholas, for always supporting all the communities.
Yes. And that's it. I think it's a bit
Yeah.
late. I need to.
Yeah,
still need to
at this
work.
time, Nicholas actually say bye before we did. So I think it's
See you
time for us to
next.
say bye. Yep. See you, folks.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Any comments and stuff, just find us over Facebook and Engineers Mind. But, yeah.
Shoo.